Do you dream of making games but haven't started yet? Are you waiting for a good moment to start? Well, you're in luck, since now is the best time to start making games. Keep watching and I'll tell you why. Hi, my name is Auro. I'm a full-time indie game developer and I'm the creator of a game called Mortal Glory. On top of that, I also make these weekly YouTube videos sharing my experiences to help you on your own game dev journey. Alright, let's start with today's topic. So, today is the best time to start making games. Why is that? Well, because you can't start yesterday. There's a relevant proverb that says the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. There are probably a few ways to think about that, but I think the basic wisdom it offers is that when it comes to things of value, things that can grow into something great, you should stop procrastinating and start doing those things right away. One thing of great value that can grow into something beautiful is chasing your dreams. I speak from personal experience. Before I started my own company and started making games, I had been dreaming of becoming an entrepreneur for maybe 10 years or so before that. But during that time, I never put any actual effort into turning that dream into reality. I never started. It was always, one day I'll do it. And well, eventually, one day I did, and I am very happy about that. But it would have been even better to start 10 years earlier. Procrastinating and pushing off things to the future is normal. Most people do it when they are facing a task that is hard or unpleasant. I'm sure many of you can remember getting a challenging school assignment and 3 months to work on it, only to push it off and then spend a few days working around the clock to finish it just before the deadline. That's all fine and good for school assignments, but when it comes to your dreams, waiting until just before the deadline is, well, it will be too late. You need to plant your dream tree early, and without a time machine to go back 20 years, the best possible moment is now. Trust me, you are doing yourself a huge favor if you start now. If you don't start now, there will be a moment in your future, whether it's 5 years, 10 years or 20 years from now, when you are thinking, oh, I really wish I had started back then. If for whatever reason you cannot start now, at least come up with an exact date and commit to starting exactly then. I will start one day is not good enough. The same goes for I will wait for a good moment. There will never be a good moment, and that one day will likely never come. By the way, I am only adding likely there instead of a strict it will never come, since in my case that one day did come. But I believe I was very lucky that one random day I was able to see clearly and realize that I was stuck in a procrastination loop. I could just as easily have spent 10 more years stuck in that loop. So you should start today, but if not today, set an exact definite date when you will start. By doing that, you at least stand a better chance of going through with it. I realize there can be some very valid reasons why you can't start today, but there are also plenty of excuses that can sound deceptively valid. Let's go through some of the common excuses. I am waiting for a new PC so I can be more effective, or I first want to finish a few game dev courses before I start. These are basically the same excuse, and there are also many other different variants of them. This is called the toolbox fallacy. Basically, it boils down to I need X before I can do Y. It's easy to fall into this fallacy because the X can certainly help you do Y, but in most cases the actual benefit is very small and you could do Y just fine without X. In actuality, it's just procrastination in a more pleasing package. Your brain loves to put that Y behind X so it can conveniently push that Y further into the future. You don't need a faster PC or previous game dev knowledge to start making games. You only need 3 things to start. Number 1, Unity or some other game engine. Number 2, a PC that can run that game engine. In practice, this usually means any PC from the last 10 or even 20 years. It definitely doesn't need to be top of the line. And number 3, an internet connection for seeking information. That's it. Even these aren't really necessary to start. You could create your own game engine. You could use a library or school PC. You could get information from books instead of the internet. But having those 3 things definitely makes things a lot more comfortable. Okay, let's continue with the common excuses. Next up is I don't have enough money. Well, luckily, if you already have a PC and an internet connection, you don't need to spend money for anything. There are plenty of great free assets available, and with a little creativity, you can make your pennies last a lot longer. Getting a game on Steam will cost you $100, but you can also release your game for free on itch.io, for example. Money helps, but it is not needed. Then, what about I am not skilled enough? Most people aren't when they start something. But you know, the best way to learn something is by doing it yourself. So you can solve this problem by starting. That sounds like a win-win to me. Next, it's too hard. Most things of value are often also hard. If it was easy, it would quickly lose its value. You just need to accept that it will be hard and it will feel uncomfortable. But trust me, it will get easier and it will be worth it. You just need to show your strength by not quitting and pushing through the hard parts. I'm afraid of failing. Well, failing is an integral part of learning. You should not fear failure. Instead, you should expect to fail and then be ready to capitalize on all the available wisdom when it happens. After that, you try again. This time with more wisdom to boost your chances. Also remember that you only risk failure because you are doing things of value. You can do absolutely nothing and have zero chance of failure. But would you not rather do something that you find valuable even if you risk failing? Then a quite common one with game dev. It's too late, there's already so much competition. Well, yeah, there's competition, but on the flip side, it's now easier than ever to make games thanks to all the information out there, all the game engines, all the assets, etc. You will face competition, but the player numbers are also increasing worldwide and there are constantly new opportunities opening up for eager developers. Someone might even say it's the best time in history to start making games. I have also heard, I don't have any good ideas. If you're struggling with this, try to think of games you personally like and think if you could take the most enjoyable part of those games and turn it into a small experience with your own twist. Or you could browse the internet for cool ideas from other people, or maybe play a few new games and see if they inspire you. There are a lot of ways to get ideas. If you really can't come up with any ideas, you could also offer to team up with someone else and work on their idea. Not having an idea is not a good excuse for not starting. What if it all just feels too much and you feel exhausted just thinking about starting? I get that. Usually, in this case, the problem is that you're overthinking it and trying to eat the whole cake in one bite. It's okay to start small, and I would even advise that. When you're just starting out, you don't need a company on day 1 and then have a game ready on day 2. It's okay to take it slow. You can just one day spend an hour or two downloading Unity and watch a few videos on YouTube on how to use it. That's enough. Just try to get a feel for it. Then next day you can try creating something very simple, maybe a button that changes color when clicked. Then just keep trying different things and go from there. There's also one more common excuse that I almost didn't include here, since it can easily also be a valid reason. And that is, I don't have enough time. If you have 3 kids and are renovating your house while also working a full-time job, I definitely won't fault you if you don't want to add game dev to that mix. But in some cases, Not having enough time can be just a matter of prioritizing your activities, sacrificing time spent on something else like watching movies or playing games in favor of using that time for game dev. Nobody is forcing you to sacrifice your free time for game dev, but if it's your dream to make games, I think it's a decent trade-off. Okay, I think that's most of the common excuses. Let me know if I missed some good one. So, bottom line, you should start now, and if not now, set an exact date for starting. There are plenty of convenient excuses available, but they are not worth compromising your dreams for. And that's where I will end this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.